Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, June 24th, 2013. From the Caribbean, in Jamaica, 52 children exposed to sexual crimes in 1 month. U.S. resumes migration talks with Cuba. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission achieves international signatory status. Also in Jamaica, teachers to know new JTA president by July 2nd. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Emerald's Travel. In Jamaica, Hear the Children's Cry has reported that last month 52 children were either raped or sexually assaulted in Jamaica. Jillian Rowlands, chairperson for the HTCC, also said that between March and May, 496 children went missing, 406 of whom returned and 2 were murdered. Data from the Jamaica Constabulary Force revealed that of the 52 cases of attacks against children, 37 of them were reported cases of rape and 15 were cases of sexual assault. Rowlands described the problem as alarming and said there was a need for intervention. Families alone cannot fix the issue, said Rowlands, who pointed out that many of the cases were